Just because we
Okay.
don't sell a product and dance in front of the camera. No, I
Yeah.
influence people with my voice.
Right.
That's an influencer. If you really want to go back to the early days of radio, that was influencing.
Welcome to Alphabet Radio, where we talk to queer people in the radio industry. This series is all about representation. It's all about finding people in the radio industry who are queer and helping to tell their stories, talk a little bit about representation. And I have a very special guest today, and she is a traffic reporter for Real 92.3 in LA and the Black Information Network. She's the host of Sapphire's Earplay, an amazing podcast that has been going on for many, many years. Also, one of the premier hosts of the Moan app, Mehgan Sapphire. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. And I had to show off my pride. I got my little bisexual flag
Mm-hmm.
and the gay Hitachi magic wand. So I came ready. I came ready.
Two things a queer person can never go without.
No, 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 no. Honey, we like to wear it loud and proud. And I love your hat. I love it.
Thank you.
Showing off
Yep.
the pride flag. And look at you with the Apple Watch band.
I gotta rep however I can, because I only came out like a couple of years ago. So
Wow.
I'm in that phase where I'm like, you know what? I just want everything to be as queer as possible. So
You know what?
doing all of
I'm
it.
actually like wearing gay shorts too. Who am I fooling? Thank you, Target. Thank you, Target, for not, shutting down your shit. Oh, am I allowed to cuss? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
absolutely. Yeah. This is
Well, thank you
absolutely concuss.
for not closing down to, the gosh, the horrendous people who just, won't let us be. As if, Target just magically this year decided to put out gay shit. They've been putting it out for years. Y'all were just bored. Y'all
Hmm.
got bored.
I swear. And we deal with so much homophobia on the internet. It's like seeing the homophobia in real life just everywhere. It's just so exhausting.
It is. It really is. I was telling my friend yesterday, they're non-binary, and I was like, can we just have one Pride Month, like 1 year, where there's absolutely no fuckery of any kind? No fuckery of any kind. Can I just have a peaceful, June Pride Month? That's it. I just want a peaceful June Pride Month. Let me celebrate Juneteenth, be black and gay. That's all I want. Be black and gay for 1 month. That's all I ask of peace.
It's all any queer person needs in life is just to allow themselves to be as queer as possible without any fear of retribution from damn homophobes who get in our comments all the damn time. Lordy biscuit.
Every day. Every
Every
day.
single day. So tell me a little bit about how you came out. Tell me your coming out story.
Well, I think the first time I ever came out was 17, 18. I was a senior in high school. I went to Catholic schools from first to 12th grade. So Catholic schoolgirl reform, that be me. Um, I was a freak for Jesus and I was a freak in the sheets at a very young age. All right. Like, so be it. They didn't know what to do with me. But I'll never forget it. I came out to my parents after a very intense senior retreat. It's called Kairos. They separate the boys and the girls, and basically you go through a whole like life shedding, couple of a week at the beach because that's Catholic school for you. Go to the beach, cleanse your soul, cleanse yourself for Jesus, and do enlightenment. And my dumbass decided to come out to my parents the night before my SATs.
Oh my
And I came
gosh.
out not just to tell them that I was bisexual, but also that I wasn't a virgin, that I wasn't saving it for Jesus. Not like my parents implemented the whole purity thing in the beginning, anyways. It was just more of like, yeah, I that fucked me. I'm sorry. Like, sorry for my foul behavior. I swear I don't report traffic like this. Yeah, it definitely it definitely set up a way. So you can imagine my car ride with my father being very quiet of just processing that his daughter just told him like she lost her virginity, she's bisexual, and she's about to go to college in a couple months. Have a great SAT. I passed, I got to college, but I've also came out several times in my life. I've come out as polyamorous. I've come out as queer. I've been teeter-tottering on the fact that maybe I'm pansexual. Maybe I'm just a freak and I just like what I like, who's in my bedroom. I just know that more than two people, that's my steez. I like the more the merrier in my bedroom. So be it. Um, and like the wise old Shane from the L Word, as problematic as the original L Word was, sexuality is fluid will always be my favorite quote from that show because it absolutely is true. And I am a true testament of sexuality being fluid. One thing's for sure though, sorry fellas, I know I look good, but chances are you don't look good to me. My man is the only one I am straight for. Okay. I have to make this disclaimer every time because there's some guy out there that is just trying to get into the poly circle. And I'm like, no. If you're a lady, absolutely. If you're trans, absolutely. If you're a cis man, I've had my run of hot dogs. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good off of your dog. I got permanent dog in house and it's great. It is wonderful and I'm good with it. And he respects my sexuality and it's a beautiful thing. But no, I am so lesbian. It's ridiculous.
You post anything on the internet and maybe you're not even talking about the fact that you're queer in any single way whatsoever, and there's always the white cis gay guys or the white cis dudes who get in your comments or get in your DMs who are like, "Hey, what's good?" And you're like,
Oh God.
listen.
Do
No
we have
offense.
time for that? 'Cause I got so many, so many. I always joke around and I said, there needs to be like a send it to your mama option because I would love to send half of the messages and DMs and text messages I have collected over the years. I mean, hell, there's literally a fuck boy page on my Instagram, and you could go back to all the outrageous messages I have ever received that I wish that a mother would love to see what their son or even daughter, mostly sons though, let's be honest, it's mostly sons, send. I'm like, wow, how you did a great job, mom. Thanks for raising a true gentleman. I really appreciate you. He deserves his ass beat. So I give it to them.
The absolute audacity of men, let me just say.
And look, it's not like I hate y'all. It's just like I have had my fill. And again, I have probably, as I call him, the last of the Tinder gents. That's how we met. And I nabbed him. It wasn't expected. And it's fine. And it's great. But you know what? He has ruined all other male experiences. Like, I don't do it anymore. It's not my thing. It doesn't, no, it's not salivating.
And this is
My mouth is actually kind of parched.
This is the common queer experience, is just being as thirsty as possible. That's how we roll.
Yes. It's June. Time to splash. Come on now.
I should caveat that with the allosexual portion of the queer experience is is that we're always thirsty.
Always thirsty. Listen, there's some great looking people at Pride, and I was very mad that I missed both Pride weekends
Oh
for
no.
for great reasonings. I mean, I went to Janet Jackson last week in San Diego, and I missed Gay Pride in LA. So I missed Megan Thee Stallion, Mariah Carey. The week before, I had to deal with a family matter, so I missed Grace Jones, and I was really sad about that. But you know what? I don't have to celebrate Pride for 1 month. I celebrate Pride 365 days a year. I celebrate it on my podcast. It's no joke that I am not. It's not. I don't have to prove myself out in the streets of West Hollywood in LA for 2 weekends to say that I'm gay. I want people to understand that, like, you should never feel pressured to go to Pride. If you miss Pride, it's okay. Go to a gay club, go to a gay bar, go to gay spaces for the rest of the year. That's fine. You don't have to be in the central and get fucked up to celebrate and say that you're gay. I just have to put that disclaimer out there too.
Our identities exist year round. And yeah, we have a month where we have fun and we're out and we're loud and we're proud and we tell people, hey, give us money, damn it, because that's what we
That
need,
part.
money. Yeah. But we're queer year round. And I feel like a lot of employers, even still today, will look at that and they go, yeah, but we have June. So, and it's like, yeah, but no, you got to understand, This
No.
is 24/7.
It's the same toss off when every February radio companies love to say that they want to honor and uphold their black employees. Well, honey, my paycheck needs to reflect that to my white counterparts because I'm sorry. I've been working in this industry for 14 years and y'all have never given me a fair chance being a queer black woman. You're not giving me a morning show, which I am well beyond capable of hosting. You barely give me a chance to be an on-air afternoon host for whatever reason, because don't say my air check is booty. I will send you my air check and you could say, damn, they fucked up. Because they have. They have. And I get it. But it's 2023. There are gay people, there are queer people, and there are people of color who are part of this community that need to have an equal say. And our paychecks need to reflect that.
Like the cis white gay experience is always what gets highlighted every June,
Mhm.
and it's so frustrating as I see people of color and I see non literally anybody who is not white or cis or gay and have seeing their experiences just get pushed to the side so that we can have I mean muscle gays are fine and like yeah some of them are
Yeah.
like some of them are really hot. I'm just gonna say,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like there's so much more to that experience. Understanding that black trans women literally started the first Pride riots, so we have to we should be recognizing this. We should be recognizing this, and queer people should be on the air more. In fact, I mean, yeah, there's Pride Radio and all, but we shouldn't have to be on Pride Radio. We should be able to be on
No.
literally any radio station. You know?
And don't make the token gay person your third wheel or second wheel, second in command on a radio show. It's very apparent what you're doing. It's just like me being the only black producer on a morning hip hop show in San Diego. And no shade to that company. I still, talk to some of my employers, but it's very apparent when you're putting in an agenda versus we think she's talented and worth it. And I left. I left because I was not valued. And when someone is not valued, that does a lot. And let's be honest, people in radio, we need to be more open and honest about mental health. And I think that is a very big thing, especially after the pandemic. A lot more radio hosts have been becoming more transparent on their mental health, but also you need to understand that when you add on the other labels, especially, for you and myself, for me, it's like I have to carry the burden of mental health regarding myself being Black and myself being queer and the fact that I'm a woman. So that's three things that are against me in an industry that has no love for me. You guys say you love us, but you love a particular side of us. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and the thing that's really frustrating too is, you have all of the conservative ghouls who come out and they come out of the woodwork and they say, "Oh, queer people are mentally ill." It's like, well, a lot of us are mentally ill, but you have to
Hmm.
understand that the reason why we are mentally ill is because of you, is because
Hmm.
of all of these jerk faces and all the crap that they spew at us on a daily basis. Seriously, if the joke that I always tell is on Halloween, if they want to tell a really scary story, they would open up the DMs of any queer person a queer person on the internet and just read the vitriol out loud of things that we deal with every day. The comments that I have deleted on every one of my TikToks would cause most people to blush because they would see that, and those people still have their accounts. Don't even get me
Right.
started on the moderation and the lack of moderation on a lot of these platforms.
That's why I refuse to engage on TikTok. And honestly, there's so many reasons why I'm not on TikTok. I know we're talking about, being gay in this industry, but also, you know, I have social media anxiety at this point. I feel like I am not being valued for what I bring to the table. Things that people have been talking about in podcasts now, I've been talking about it before podcasts were really popular back in 2009. I've been talking about being attacked, being Black and gay, and not being accepted. And, my dating horror stories of, you know, guys not respecting the fact that just because I'm bisexual doesn't mean every time we have a sexual excursion needs to be involved with a threesome. I'm sorry, but I always joke around and say I don't believe in dick and disappointment. I don't. I don't believe in dick and disappointment. And if you don't know what that means, I'm sorry. Dick and disappointment equals no threesome.
That is amazing. Oh my God.
I told you I was going to give you the most rawest interview ever for Pride Month. So, honey, strap up in every way
Oh
possible.
wow. I'm gonna have to remember that one. That is good stuff. So like this actually touches on some things that like, so as a queer person who whether or not you are you identify as bisexual, being a person that is attracted to multiple genders, a lot of the things that you run into either on the internet or in person in your dating life is people who assume things about
Hmm.
your fluid sexuality. They assume that, oh, well, she's down, she's attracted to multiple genders. That must mean that we're bringing multiple genders in. No, 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 it does not.
Mm-mm. Think of it like this. It's like a VIP list, and I'm very important, pussy. You're not on the list. You're not on the list, and it's like, I'm flattered. Thank you for, saying you respect my tribe and all that, but yeah, no, it's not just an open invite for you to grab, touch. If you see me at a party, because I do go to play parties, sex parties, if you will, and no, that's not an invitation automatically for you to just do whatever you want. And especially being a public figure, I do have to protect some sort of my private life. I'm very open, but I also am, as I've gotten older, a little bit more private. That's why I'm not going to go on TikTok. I don't want to deal with the TikTokers and the homophobes of the internet. I don't want to deal with them talking about, oh, your voice is so sexy, but no, you should be a call girl. No, no, no. I don't know. I work in the sex industry behind the scenes, and that's where I will stay. If I wanted to get into sex work, that's a whole different story, but that's not your story to tell for me. I want to be on radio, just being a face that some people can be like, you know what? I fuck with Sapphire. She lives her life unapologetically. And yes, you are giving me a reason why I should be out loud, queer, proud, a person of color, whatnot, what have you. And I like to say, y'all can really use some tips from a polyamorous person like myself whenever you're spewing out your monogamous behavior and it's toxic as shit. Honey, I could be saving lives on the radio, but you want to keep me muted for whatever reason possible.
So you've been doing Sapphire's Earplay since 2009.
2009. And then on top of that, I've worked for numerous radio stations, being a producer, on air host. I was one of the first, actually, still one of the youngest producers and hosts Sirius XM ever had. At 19, I was running a show in college that was simultaneously being aired at Sirius XM in LA at the same time at 19. They never had someone that young and that open. So people like to say, I was the first queer person to radio. No, I believe I was. I hate to say it. I hate to burst the bubble. I was one of the first. So you go deep and dive deep enough, you'll understand the math is mathing. But yeah, since 2009, I have had um, Sapphire's Airplay, which originally was called Erotic City Radio. It got me my career launched in radio and in the adult industry, and I've never looked back. And I'm just ever so evolving. And how I got into traffic radio, I was literally leaving San Diego. I said I was done with radio in 2019. The pandemic hit. I totally forgot that I had applied. My mind was already like, get out of radio. Let's get into the film industry. I had a film job lined up. And then a friend of mine who was touring for Slipknot at the time, as soon as I moved back to LA, he was like, yo, I got a job. It's important. I know you don't want to do it. It pays well. I was like, screw it. I'll do it. I'll work behind the scenes. I have good rapport with the industry. Let's just do it. It's fine. And then literally 2 weeks later, again, I'm not even in LA, back in LA for a month. And the traffic people at iHeart called me. They recognized my work from what I did in San Diego. And they're like, we think you can be a good fit for the company. Pandemic hits. I'm not working. I'm working still behind the scenes. And then they launched the Black Information Network in June. So I just celebrated 3 years with the Black Information Network earlier this month, which is yay. progress, awesome, to be one of the first of many Black anchors. And it's been great. But also, I'm like, we need more. We need more content. We need more queer content. There are Black queer people out there. And I think that Black Information Network, if y'all are listening, hi. Could be useful. Could be useful. Just saying we could have some queerness added to the mix on there. But I take it for what it is. And I know that if outlets like iHeart and other big radio companies will not take a chance on me, I still have Sapphire's Airplay to fall back on, which has always been my first love. And it's been great.
It's frustrating to me to hear somebody that has so much talent and experience in this industry not have a dedicated on-air radio show in the city where you live.
I have been told, I have been told that I am not Black enough. I am not white enough. That, oh, what you do is a little bit unradio friendly. And I'm like, I can make it radio friendly. I don't have to talk about orgies. I can sell your product. If I can sell traffic, I can definitely sell the morning and afternoon news. I can definitely do that. I know how to play my role. My sexuality doesn't just define me, but I'm also not going to live in a closet while on air either. And it was nice for my stint in San Diego to talk about, being producer Sapphire, who is openly polyamorous and openly, bisexual. It was great to talk about that because it did tap into a different audience for our morning show for a while it lasted. And it still makes an impact now that I've been gone from that station for almost 4 years now, and they still talk about me. So that makes an impact to the companies. It's the problem that companies are scared to cross certain lines. It's like, we'll keep the Black girl because we have to keep a certain quota, of what do they call it? The racial diversity hire, but don't give her too much leeway. Don't give her too much of a platform. So again, it has nothing to do with my air check, has nothing to do with my work ethic. You can ask my name around and people will say, she's a great host. I don't know why she can never get a job. You guys think I'm not Black enough. That's what it is. I'm not Black enough for the hip hop stations. I'm not white enough for their, the mommy stations. Put her in traffic.
Loveline existed. Howard Stern was doing a radio show. So it is like, it's like one of those things that like I'm like flames from the side of my head. Like it's an infuriating prospect to have somebody who has a presence, has a show, has a voice, and and nothing.
Even Instagram doesn't want me. I mean, let's talk about it. Yeah, I don't have 10K because Instagram doesn't want me to have 10K. I've been shadow banned so many times. I remember the first time I noticed something was going wrong. This is before shadow banned became an actual word. And I went on live and I proved to everybody, I was like, you can't find me because Instagram doesn't want you to find me. And then all of a sudden, I'm being shadow banned. Oh no. But I'm the crazy one. I was the crazy ranting Black girl just crying because she can't get engagement. So when companies tell me I'm not of value, no, I am of value with the top 2% global podcast. But no one wants to hear that because the numbers don't add up because of social media, because I'm not on TikTok. My TikTok is not my air check. My Instagram is not my air check. And it's not my resume. And I think that's where we get jaded in radio a lot, is that we're so focused and fixated on social media engagement, and we're not fixated on the fact that there are talented people like you and I who put their lives on the line for radio. We know it doesn't pay that good of money, but we still do it anyways because we know our voices need to be heard to somebody.
Having a podcast that's in the top 2% globally is such an amazing achievement.
Thank you.
And that tells me that you have an audience. You have however many thousands of people that are listening to you, right?
89,000, I believe.
So That's 89,000 people that are listening to you globally, that are tuning in, that are able to, that your voice is able to reach. And how many people live in Los Angeles? How many more people could you be reaching if you
Exactly.
had a radio show? This is such a, so like, you see this all the time, and I know a lot of programmers who are like, yeah, but are they influencers? And it's like, okay, but like, look, yes.
Yeah. Just because we
Okay.
don't sell a product and dance in front of the camera. No, I
Yeah.
influence people with my voice.
Right.
That's an influencer. If you really want to go back to the early days of radio, that was influencing. Okay. I got into radio, because I was listening to Howard Stern. I was watching and listening to Wendy Williams in New York, a kid in LA finding ways to listen to Wendy Williams in New York. And I was like, I want to be her. Okay. Like I was that kid. I've been tapped in to radio into the entertainment business since I was born. But that's a whole different story because my family is involved in the industry. But I got my name and I got my way and paved my way in. I did not ride the coattails of my family name to get to where I am. And I will never do that. Never will do that. But we do influence. It should not matter by the popularity contest of what we call social media, because that's all that is.
There's
That's
a
all that is.
And there are a lot of radio companies now who are like, okay, yeah, you're applying and you set your air check sounds good, but what are your numbers on social? And you're like, what? If my air check sounds good,
Exactly.
everything else will start lining up. Everything else will start falling into place. Oh my God.
Exactly.
I'm so pissed for you. I'm sorry. I'm like,
I'd be lying if I'm not gonna, and like I know my partner, my man is literally in the next door over. I literally had a full-fledged meltdown. Meltdown. Full blown, I am pissed. I am holding my composure because I'm professional like that. But the inside me is screaming, it's crying, there's not a day I don't wake up in this industry screaming and yelling, what the hell am I doing wrong for you to not have me hired? Why are you not hiring me? And why do I get getting asked to guest spot on things or be in the running to become something only to be shut down by, no, we're going into a different direction. So tell me for the future, what am I doing wrong so that I don't do it again? Because I know what it is. Because I've been continuously told too seductive for morning, too seductive for afternoon. Hell, I was told to pull back from my traffic reports because too seductive and you just need to stick to traffic. I can't even be unique. I'm allowed to be unique on one station and that's it. Everybody else, stick to traffic, please.
meanwhile, the number of cis straight white people on the air has they don't have this problem.
Hopefully, there's a program director out there that's listening because listen, honey, I am always always open for something new. I am never attached to what I do. And if that's, is a breach of contract, so be it. Value me. Value us. Value us.
What's really sad is that I'm 100% I already know that your story is not unique.
It's just an everyday story. I just live in my truth. That's really what it is. If the unique aspect is she has, three loving partners, one that I live with and two that I don't, then so be it. That's my unique twist. But when you, as a program director, are telling your on-air hosts that they need to tap in more with their audience, I'm your golden girl per se. Like I have three different audiences that I can tap into that I guarantee you are not all engaged in your station, but you don't want to tap into it because you are too scared that sales will plummet. Take a chance. I think that's the problem now is that we are not taking chances with good, talented people. And you and I both know there's a very big radio shift happening, and it's scary as hell. It is scary as hell right now for the radio industry. And it does make you really question, what am I bringing to the table?
If you had to give advice to somebody who is queer and is considering getting into radio, what would your advice be?
Create your own lane. Podcasting for me, that is my outlet to still go strong in this radio industry. Don't let the ignorant people say, well, radio's dead. I don't listen to radio. People listen to podcasts. People listen to public speakers. There's an app that I'm a part of. Shout out to the Moan app. They're very queer friendly. They're ran by a queer gay man in Texas. Believe it or not, there are some good people in Texas. Blew my mind. But, it's create your own lane in this point and keep going. Like I said, I am always evolving. I'm like a chameleon in this industry. I wear many hats in this industry, and there's a reason why I am called Ms. Radio Sapphire. And I will forever be called Ms. Radio Sapphire because I have found ways to share my love of radio, my frustration of radio, and still make it somewhat a beautiful thing. That is my biggest take. And if a job doesn't, satisfy you, walk away. It's okay to quit. I think we put a lot of pressure on people when they say, you're not allowed to quit. You're not allowed to take sick days. No, take the time off. I'm paying for it now because I've been pressured to work when I was sick. If I'm sick, I'm sick. I'm not doing it. My mental health is my wealth. And if you want me to be a better host, then damn sure I'm taking my mental health days. And you're going to give me that. So create your own lane. Never lose sight of yourself. And just don't give a fuck anymore. Just don't give a fuck and be yourself. Somebody out there is going to be listening.
Fuck yeah. I love that. Oh, I love that as a note to end on. Hey, if you're not already following Miss Radio Sapphire, go follow Miss Radio Sapphire on Instagram, okay? Get her to that 10K because she deserves it. Number one. Yeah, hell yeah. Not only that, but you can also listen to her. She does traffic for Real 92.3 in LA and the Black Information Network. And if you are not already listening to Sapphire's Earplay, give it an episode. Give it 2 episodes, maybe 3, and then subscribe and see if it's your thing. If it is, fantastic. You just found yourself a whole new world to enter into, and it's pretty fantastic. Sapphire, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been so much fun.
Greg, anytime. Honey, I'm just so glad we got connected the way that we did. So thank you.